Hey everyone, it's Monday. It's Monday. How's everyone doing? Hope you're doing awesome. All right, we're live now. So, hey everyone. Coach Curtis Fallon here, Results Life and Business Coach. Today's going to be for business coaches, and I'm going to dive right into it because I have a coaching session in 15 minutes. My time is extremely limited to do any videos like this. So, let's get to it. So today I want to talk about the single most common messaging mistake I see business coaches make. And it's not a writing problem or a marketing problem, okay? It's a perspective problem. And once you see it, you can't unsee it, all right? So maybe you describe your coaching on your website, if you have one, right? Or your social media and your discovery calls by what you do, right? The sessions, the frameworks, the methodology, the approach. That's what a lot of coaches do. I think maybe they're taught that somewhere. Okay, but let's fix that. Because your prospect reads all of that and they think, boy, that sounds good, right? That's cool. But they don't hire you, okay? Not because they didn't like what they read, okay? Because what they read answered none of the questions they were actually asking, right? You didn't answer their questions. You just told them a bunch of stuff. Cool stuff. That's cool. That's awesome. Now, I've been coaching for over 26 years, and specifically, I've been coaching business coaches ever since then. I was one of the founding coaches for Tony Robbins. I coached and trained and mentored the next batch of coaches and the next and the next and on and on and on to where it is today, right? So, and the process selling mistake, I'll call it, right? Describing your coaching instead of your client's future is the single most consistent visibility and conversation problem that I find. Today, I want to share the story of a coach who made this shift and what happened when she did. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about Olivia. Now, Olivia had been coaching service-based business owners specifically for 4 years before she came to me. She was really skilled at what she did. She really knew business and she knew service-based businesses inside and out. Her clients stayed with her when she had a client. Her testimonials were warm and kind, right? Her website described her coaching program as a 12-week transformational experience, right? It's kind of like coach language, right? That uses a proprietary 3-pillar framework to help entrepreneurs build sustainable businesses through mindset, strategy, and accountability. Sound familiar? It does to me because I hear that a lot. Okay, it's like very similar to most coaching websites I go to. So Olivia was earning $5,200 a month, $1,500 a month for the last 2 years. Okay, now I asked Olivia one question, and it changed the entire conversation for her. Okay, so I said, Olivia, when your ideal client wakes up at 6 a.m., right, and they're lying in bed for 15 minutes, trying to get out of bed, right, before they make themselves get up, what are they thinking about? Like, what's that immediate, instant, thought or thinking process that they're having, right? She didn't hesitate. She said, they're thinking about the fact that they've been working 60 hours a week for the last 2 years, and they're not paying themselves what they need. They know what they should be doing, but they keep getting pulled into the day-to-day. And there's never a time for the work that would actually change the numbers for them, right? They're stuck in that thing. So I said, that's extraordinary, right? Now, read me the headline on your website. Okay, so she pulled it up. It said, 12-week transformational coaching for entrepreneurs ready to build the business of their dreams. Now, that sounds great, right? But that's all it does. Okay, so I said, Olivia, The person lying in bed at 6 a.m. with the specific fear you just described would read your headline and not recognize themselves in it because you described your offer and she's looking for someone who understands her problems, right? And she doesn't see that in the title, right? So here's what a prospect is actually asking when they read your coaching description, okay? They're asking, does this person understand what is happening to me right now? Right? Do they get me right now where I'm at? What's going on? My fears, my doubts, my, hesitations for things and whatever, right? Do they know what it feels like? And have they helped someone in my exact situation to get to the place I want to get to? Okay? Now, a 12-week transformational experience answers none of those questions. Okay? So where does it answer that and any of that? None of it, right? Now, we rebuilt Olivia's entire messaging from the outside in, starting with the exact experience of her ideal client and working backward to the offer. So her new headline, let me pull this up. Okay, so if her new line, this is her new headline, right? If you're running a service business, working 60 plus hours a week, and still not paying yourself what you need, I help owners like you cut their hours and double their take-home pay within 6 months without hiring, without marketing spend, and without sacrificing the quality your clients expect. Now, that's the same coach, the same coaching, but it's a completely different message. Does that sound a little better? Do you think that might pique some people's curiosity a little better? All right. So here's what Olivia wrote me 5 months later. So let me find this. Okay, so she said, sorry about that. That's my next call popping up here. We got 5 minutes. So she said, Curtis, in the 2 years before we worked together, I averaged $5,200 a month. In the 5 months since rebuilding my messaging, I've averaged $13,400 a month. My discovery call close rate went from roughly 25% to 58%. And here's the thing that surprised me most. Prospects now come to discovery calls already half sold. Key sentence there, coaches. Because they read my content and felt like I was describing their life. When you feel understood, boy, she got this, right? So when you feel understood before you even get on a call, the call is almost a formality. Now that last sentence is the one I want every coach, watching this to sit with, okay? When a prospect feels understood before the call is almost a formality. Like they're already sold, they're going to sign up. It's just a formality just to check to make sure, right? Now here's the outside in messaging method, okay, Olivia used to transform her discovery call results. Now step 1 is the 6 a.m. inventory, right? So write down a specific sensory, emotionally, what your ideal client is thinking, feeling as soon as they wake up, before they're ready to face their day, right? Like before they, they're trying to get themselves out of bed. Why aren't they getting themselves out of bed? This type of thing. What are they thinking that gets them out of bed? Because it's probably a fear or some type of motivation, right? Not general business challenges, okay? It's got to be specific thoughts, the specific fears, the specific quiet frustrations they never said out loud to anyone, maybe even their husband or their wife, okay? So for Olivia's client, it was the calculation she runs in her head before getting up. Hours worked for the week, the revenue that she's generated, her personal pay that she's taken in, between effort and outcome, right? The specific weight of that calculation in her head at 6 a.m. is the problem, okay? So step 2 is the gap articulation, right? The gap articulation. We need to articulate this gap. So describe in your ideal client's own words and their emotional register the gap between where they are right now and where they want to be. Not where you'll take them, where they want to arrive. Written as if your client wrote it themselves. Okay? Now, step 3 is the evidence anchor. So insert a specific, measurable client result that bridges the gap you just described. Excuse me. So not just a general statement about this transformation, right? A specific person who was in that exact situation that you just described that they're in and arrived at the exact outcome your ideal client wants with specific numbers, specific time frame, okay? Now, step 4 is the credential of relevance. Okay, it's one sentence that establishes why you specifically are the right guide for this journey. Not your coaching credentials, your lived proximity to this exact problem. Okay? Now, step 5 is the single clear next step. One action, one keyword, no options. It's either workshop or session or book or whatever you want them to do. Not a menu of ways to engage with you. The one step that starts the conversation that addresses that specific, challenge. Okay? So I'm going to tell you the result of this. So Olivia's close rate from doing all this work, it is work, took a little while, okay? But her close rate went from 25 to 58%. Not because she got better at selling, okay? Because her prospects arrived at the discovery call already sold on the idea that she understood them. Oh, this person gets me. They know me. They know exactly what I'm going through, and they can help me. I just want to talk to them and ask for their help, right? So the outside-in messaging does the selling before the call ever starts, okay? Now, if you want help with things like this, you want to hit 20K plus months like Olivia is now, okay? There's my call. All right. DM or comment session. I'll spend 30 to 45 minutes with you, and I'll show you how to get to 20K a month as a business coach. Now, it doesn't matter if you're wanting to break into coaching. This is specifically for business coaches, okay? Or you're already a coach, and you're kind of going through what Olivia's client was just going through, right? You're putting in all this work, you're not making enough money, you're frustrated, you're overwhelmed, you're a little lost or confused, and you're like, man, I really would like to hit those 20K months, but I just don't see it, all right? So comment or DM me session. I'll spend some time with you. Thanks for watching, guys. Have an amazing and blessed Monday, and we'll see you soon. All right, take care.